Now we're going to apply a skin for the iPod Touch 2. The iPod Touch 2 is just slightly different than the iPod Touch. You can actually use the skins for the iPod Touch 1 on the Touch 2 and vice versa, but it's always best to get the right version just because it's perfectly set to all the edges. You're going to want to start off with a soft cloth to just give the back of your iPod a little bit of a cleaning to make sure that there's no dust, dirt, grease, or anything on there that can get stuck underneath the skin. I use a cloth similar to a cloth for cleaning eyeglasses and sunglasses, but you can pretty much use anything as long as it's a soft cloth. You don't want to use anything rough that might scratch the silver on the back of your iPod. Then you're going to go ahead and peel off the skin and go to apply it. It is always easiest to start off by centering it and looking at the bottom edge to make sure that it's set on the bottom edge, and then lining up the top edge to match that. And as you can see, if you don't put it on perfectly centered the first time, you can just take it off. Because it's a curved surface, you always want to start with the corners of the touch and make sure that you have all the corners smoothed out before you do the edges. And then once you start doing the edges, it's always easiest to start near the corners and work your way in on the device to make sure that you don't have any air bubbles or lips. You can press down pretty firm on it to make sure that it stays nice and good, especially when you're doing the edges which are really curved. You want to make sure that you're putting some pressure on there. And as you can see, just start at the edges and work it in, and just keep smoothing it out with your fingers. The better you smooth it out, the better the longevity is going to be of the skin, and make sure that it always stays on there perfectly and nice. The corners are always the ones that you got to be most careful with and make sure that you get those fully smoothed out. Don't be afraid to put some pressure on that. Then once you have the skin put on, I like to take that same soft cloth and just give it another quick smoothing out to make sure that I didn't miss any air bubbles. MusicSkins are made with a patented 3M vinyl so that there's actually air channels so that you can push air bubbles directly out. If you have a huge air bubble, you can always just peel it on and off to put it back on, because MusicSkins are fully removable, so you can take it on and off and it won't lose its adhesive quality, leave any residue or stretch like some of the imitations out there. Then once you have it smoothed out and on, there you go. You're all set with your new I still got one more air bubble I felt there, so I went ahead and smoothed it out. Now you're all set with your new Lil Wayne Touch 2 iPod skin. And you can also go to our website to download the matching wallpaper for the front.